Hi kids, it's your mom. I just got out of the bath. Could you tell? Anyway, we're lounging around in our after church clothes and figured I'd make you a video since I'm into storytelling now about my current canon with regards to Zeus. And in order to get into that, I have to go back a ways. See, in Greek mythology, the first creation was chaos. And chaos created earth, or Gaia, and sky. Or time, one or the other. I don't remember. Anyway, they created the Titans. And Cronus became the god, the king of the gods, with his wife Rhea as the queen of the gods. And she started having children, except that one of the other titans was mad at him for something, and they told him that if he ever had a son, that one of his sons was going to overthrow him one day. Now, in Greek mythology, you take all prophecies seriously, all of them. So what Cronus did is, well, he did what a lot of people do, and which is he was stupid. He tried to subvert the prophecy, And the way that he did that is every time Rhea would have a baby, he would swallow it whole. A baby cannot overthrow its father if it's inside him, right? Unless, of course, you have diarrhea or something. Good luck. Anyway, now, also, you should know that gods and titans are incredibly, incredibly fertile. And their gestation period is like a day. So, you have sex, you're going to have a kid. Just bang. That's it. So, he has sex with her. She has a kid. He swallows it. And that happened 5 times in 5 days. And here she's going, now, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so finally, after 5 times of this, she decided to, try out this theory, my husband is eating my children. I wonder if that's something, if he's doing this because he's hungry or, So she decided to do an experiment, and this experiment involved she was pregnant already, because they had sex yesterday. And so she took a rock that was about the same size as a baby, and she wrapped it up in a swaddling dress, which basically means wrapping up a baby in a baby burrito and covering its face, like that. And most dads, when they pick up a baby bundle like that, they lift the head. They lift the flap to see the baby's face. Goo-goo. That's your baby. Yay. So if he lifted it up and then looked at her funny for handing him a rock, then she'd know that she was just imagining things. So she gave birth, and instead of handing him baby Zeus, she handed him the rock. And he didn't even lift the flap. He just swallowed it right whole. And so she said, that's it. I'm going home to Mother. Mother is Gaia. Gaia is the earth, in case you didn't know that. So she took baby Zeus and a few of her friends, and they went to Crete, where she raised Zeus. She raised him, she trained him, she found him a wife, Mnemosyne. Now, let me stop here. I know that you're probably going, wait a minute, didn't he marry his sister Hera? No, not at first. His first wife was a titaness named Mnemosyne, which is Greek for memory, and he loved her. He loved her so much they had 9 daughters in 9 days, one after the other. Those 9 daughters were his firstborn. They were called the Muses. And I never heard what happened to them. I don't think they ever got married. They just seemed to really get a kick out of going around to people and inspiring them and stuff, like you do. So when now he has 9 daughters, and his wife is pregnant again, and his mother Rhea brings him over, and she says, "Okay, here's what I need you to understand. Your father has swallowed 5 of your brothers and sisters, 5 of them. Okay? Now, try to imagine being a father, somebody who swallows your children. Get up there and stop him. Get my kids back." So, being a good kid, he went and he overthrew his father, just like the prophecy said he would. What happened was that he gave him an emetic, which is, like syrup of ipecac, which when I was a kid we used to call syrup of uppachuck. Sorry about that. Anyways, he made his dad throw up his 5 brothers and sisters and the rock. And then they and a few of the titans that followed them overthrew Cronus, and then they took him and all the titans that followed him, Cronus, and put them in Tartarus, which is in Hades. And so then they had to decide, okay, so like who's going to be the king of the gods and who's going to go down to Hades and watch over the titans so that they can't escape again. So they can't escape and try to take revenge, right? So Hades was the eldest, and he was the responsible one, which is so typical of the eldest. And so he said, "I'll do it." So he packed up, wasn't even married. He packed up and he went right down to Hades and set up shop. And so there was just Zeus and Poseidon left, and Poseidon was more of a party boy. He was a wild child. He wasn't interested. He was more interested in getting out there and having fun, And so that left Zeus. So he went home, and he was going to tell Mnemosyne, "Hey, guess what? I don't know what happened, but I think I'm the king of the gods." And his wife, who had been talking with someone, said, "Listen, I have a prophecy. If you become the king of the gods, and this child that I'm having is a male, if I ever give you a son, that child will overthrow you the way that you just overthrew your father." And Zeus said, "Whoa. Bad news then, I'm king of the gods." She said, "Okay then, we need to come up with a solution. You need to swallow me." And he said, "What? I'm pregnant. I've been holding it in. Look, I'm going to give birth tomorrow if we don't do something. Okay? So I don't want you to swallow your kids like your dad did. I would never do that. I know. So you're going to swallow me instead. I'll make myself really small. You swallow me. I'll be perfectly fine. I'll give birth, and then I'll find a way to get our kid out. Okay? Just take care of them whenever they come out, all right? I hope it's not a boy. If it's a boy, well, I don't know. We'll see." Anyway, they argued about it, of course, because Zeus really loved Mnemosyne a lot. But she won out in the end, and so she made herself small, and he swallowed her, pregnant and all. And then, really sorrowing because he was now a widower, he went back to his 3 sisters and his remaining brother, who had decided to become king of the oceans, Lala. And he says, "Okay, who wants to be queen of the gods? Demeter?" No, she was more interested in the earth and harvest and everything. What about, here's Hera with her hand up. What about you, Hestia? What about you? No, she wasn't interested either. She just wanted to tend the fire and cook the food. Okay, fine, Hera, you can be the queen of the gods. So you see, he didn't marry her first. He married Mnemosyne. She wasn't his sister. She was a Titaness who loved him, and he gave her 9 daughters, one right after the other, and now he's married to Hera, who's a bit of an image problem. meaning that she is very ferocious about maintaining her image. And they have sex, and the first thing that they do is they give birth to a son, and they name him Hephaestus, and he's not exactly a good-looking child because he is the son of brother and sister union, but he is a very loyal young man. He may be ugly and he may be lame, but he is a very, very loyal young man. So Zeus, being a very doting father, he puts Hephaestus in charge of the forges. And then he starts having a headache. And it's a nasty, nasty headache. I mean, it's a really awful, awful headache. And one day, I mean, it's just pounding, pounding, pounding. Finally goes down to Hephaestus and he says, listen, Hephaestus, I need you to do me a favor because my head is just killing me. I want you to take your hammer and I want you to smack my head as hard as you can. And Hephaestus says, Dad? And Zeus says, yeah, I want you to smack my head as hard as you can. See, look, I know you're not stupid, so pay attention. And so Hephaestus says, okay, put your head on the anvil. So Zeus put his head on the anvil. Hephaestus smacked it. His head broke open, and out came Hera.
His head,
fully grown.
You mean Athena?
Right, Athena. Sorry,
His
my
head
brain.
was pregnant.
His head was pregnant. Out came Athena. She was fully dressed. She was fully grown. Apparently she'd been in there for a while, and so technically she was his eldest after the death of his wife. Although also technically she was his second born after the death of his wife. So there you go. And now try to imagine being a man who had to give up, not whose wife didn't die, he gave her up on purpose because she didn't want to see him be overthrown like his father had been. Being married to a woman who very clearly cares more about her image than she does about you. And then try to imagine having a relationship with her. Now, it's clear he didn't marry her because he loved her. Because, he was king of the gods and had to have a queen. That's protocol. So he would go out and he would have sex with whatever goddess, titaness, or mortal was interested in. Some of them that didn't even have any idea that was what he was doing, which, yes, I agree, is probably rape. But besides the point, Hera was not pure, innocent, and loving wife, long-suffering and putting up with it. No, she wasn't. The only reason she did not punish her husband for that was because she knew that if she did, he could come down on her like this and say, okay, Hera, you realize that I know you didn't marry me for love. I know you married me for power, and I can just as easily drop you and marry some mortal and make her a goddess. It's not hard. All I have to do is give her ambrosia. So if you want to keep your position, you're going to keep your trap shut. So she was not stupid, Hera. She wasn't. So because she wanted to be sure that no other mortals or anyone else got any stupid ideas, she would take her frustration out on them. Not so much because Zeus was cheating, because she knew he would. She knew he didn't love her. But because she didn't want them to get any ideas. And that, my dear friends and children, is the story of Zeus, from my perspective. If you have any comments about that at all, please leave them in the description, in the comments section. And remember that I love you. And I'll talk to you again soon.